Hey, Unpaid Lunch listeners, you can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and ad-free as a Prime member on Amazon Music. Find us on social medias and YouTube at Unpaid Lunch. On your break today, Wes is in the studio talking about his time as a groundskeeper on a golf course. And one of our favorite hustlers, Willie, stops by, just me and him in studio to talk about his time as an electrician. All right, time to clock out for lunch. Welcome into Unpaid Lunch, and thanks for spending your break with us. I'm Heavy D. Rhino is out tonight. Heart goes out to him. He's got some stuff going on with some family members that we hate, but he's not going to be here tonight. Wes and Monroe are both here. Say hi to the hustlers, fellas.
Hey, how are you?
I got a shit.
You just realized you got a shit?
Yeah.
Been sitting here forever?
Well, it just hit me.
You mean a policy, you can go shit?
No, I'm good. I can push through it.
Are you sure? That's the whole point. Push through it. Yeah, so we got some cool guests coming up that I wanted to talk about, mainly so I can make them lock in and actually show up. Corey's supposed to be here. Corey Harris that plays music.
Okay, Corey.
Yeah.
I ain't seen him in a little bit.
Yeah, he's supposed to come on. I'm gonna talk to him at the fair, the festival. Did you have fun at the Mountain Heritage, Wes?
No,
You don't. I know you don't have a good time. You don't like crowds.
I don't like crowds. But my kids had a good time, so that's all that matters.
I mean, they had a good time.
I didn't go this year.
There was a crowd. That's good. I went so many times. We went Thursday just to be there. And then, was it Thursday? No, she took the kids Thursday. You know what? I don't remember.
I seen your kids Saturday.
I was there a bunch. My kids were there every day. We took them and picked them up every day.
The boys were there every day but Friday. But Lucas rode the
It's
Hurricane.
a local festival that's like, every town has one. It's like a apple festival or a pumpkin pie festival or anything like that. But it's Mountain Heritage, and it's the first year we've had it since the sky turned into water.
It's your everyday hometown festival.
Yeah, it's exactly what you think. If you could exactly name what's there and who's there and what rides are there and what booths are there.
It's a carnival and a farmer's market.
Yeah, it's a carnival market.
Basically
It's just it's so much money though. But
Yeah.
there's like we had a Bloomin' Onion and Wife's Church booth did apple dumplings.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, man, it was like just a huge baked apple dumpling with ice cream and caramel sauce and like chocolate sauce and
All right.
no, it was caramel sauce and cinnamon. Cinnamon got the call.
All right, you got me.
Caramel sauce and cinnamon sauce and a scoop of ice cream.
Also, shout out to the wife for correcting you. just now.
The correction, yeah.
You know, I skipped all that and I just went straight for the kill and bought a fried egg and bologna sandwich.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that I seen them doing that.
It was the baseball booth, so I was going to support it.
Yeah, they were calling them Pac-Man sandwiches because
Yeah.
they were cut a V out of them so they can so the bologna doesn't roll up.
Yeah.
Physics, bologna frying physics.
Who knew?
Who knew? No, I had that. We had that and ribbon fries with chili and cheese on them, and like
I'm all about some ribbon fries, bro.
man, we had all kinds of stuff. But the lines were just huge though, and you got to stand in line forever.
Well, see, that's the thing. You got to wait till Saturday when Kentucky's playing, and everybody just leaves.
For an hour, there's nobody there.
You get there before 4 o'clock.
Yeah, you get everything to yourself.
We dropped the kids off that morning, or after the parade, and was just like, y'all go hang out. Go
Go do it.
spend no money. I was like, you're not getting any more money. We spent money Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen your boy down there.
Yeah. Wes wanted to talk about, we wanted to go into some of the past job that you had that was pretty cool, that you did forever, was
Forever.
The groundskeeper at the golf course.
Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah, I think you had the best time just because that's when you were drinking and you were drunk most of the time. Get drunk text at like
That's a
11:30.
requirement to be on the golf course, though.
It is. You have to have beer there anyway. Like 11:30, I get drunk text from like at work.
Well, yeah. I mean, so with those, like anytime you did a tournament, the tournaments usually they provided beer or alcohol for the players. And they always had us like set up which holes we're going to have the coolers on. They'd be like, "Oh, here's a cooler full of beer. Let's take it to hole number 14."
Yeah. Pit stop.
So yeah, we took it there, but half the beer was gone by the time we walked away from it.
It's like how many cases did we get? 6. I thought there was 10. Nope, there's 6.
There's 6.
The purchase order is incorrect. And every one of them are like stumbling their way up there.
Uh-huh. What all did you do up there?
You name it, I did it. I mean, stuff that I was supposed to do or stuff I wasn't supposed to do.
What was your job?
Oh, okay. So I was groundskeeper. Basically, I ran all the equipment up there, all the mowers, backhoes, anything that had a diesel motor in it.
Okay.
Basically, you get up before daylight and you work till about 2 or 3.
Yeah, because golfers get up early, so you got to get up earlier than golfers.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was insane. Like, we'd be rounding the first 9, we'd cut the first 9, and all of a sudden, we'd look out, and there would be already people there. The sun just barely coming up.
7 o'clock sharp.
Yeah.
So you think it's just like cutting the grass and cutting the weeds, but it's like much more complex, like the shit you have to do right
yeah.
all the time, divots and like.
And there's algebra.
Yeah.
Like, trigonometry in it. Like, you have to cut the grass at a certain angle, a certain degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day.
And if you don't, you have to like you have to like let them know, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, the fairway's long today.
Yeah. Or, like, you have to roll them, which is basically like you take this big. I don't know what it is. We just call
like
it
a
a
steamroller?
roller. It's like a steamroller, but
Yeah.
it's smaller. And that would make the greens faster or slower.
Sure.
When I say it's faster or slower, that means you're basically compressing the ground
Yeah.
so that when you hit your ball,
Yeah.
it's going to slip right down
Science.
the line.
Oh,
Yeah.
math.
Yeah.
Math.
Math.
This is the
Angles.
meme with like the numbers and stuff over the guy's head. See Wes on the golf course thinking about how fast that green's got to be. And you like change the holes out and stuff too, right? You did all that shit, like
And there's a lot of times you would see me like standing like over a green looking at it, and they're thinking I'm like, oh, he's looking at his work, or he's trying to. No, it's me trying to figure out which way I needed to cut it because I forgot from one hole to the next which angle I was cutting. So
Yeah.
yeah.
because I'm like, which way did I do this? I don't remember. Did I go up and down, left and right, or side to side, or?
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I feel like people don't think about that job. People don't think
It's
about
technical.
Yeah, people don't think about how hard that is. Like keeping, and this is it's 18 holes. I mean, it's a big ass golf course, and like not the easiest to keep too, right? Because it's like on holes are on the side of mountains, and
Well,
like,
it's all a reclaimed strip job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So-
our hard pan. Like,
Yeah.
So it's not just like a normal golf course where it's all flat. No, man.
and you got to do like the water. You to take care of the fucking water.
Oh, that's fun. That was fun because like every golf course has like its little tricks.
Yeah,
But I feel like our golf course had so many like rigged up tricks that you had to do to it to get things to going.
oh, absolutely.
Like,
It was better to just get a whole new system than work through all that.
yeah, but we just worked through all that. Like,
Yeah.
So it was designated, a top 9 and a bottom 9. Everybody calls it that, but literally the top 9 was up on top of a mountain. The
Yep.
bottom 9 was on the bottom.
It's in the
part of
valley.
mountain. Yeah, in the valley. So when you get to the basically when you get to where you have to water the bottom 9, you you got to go to the breaker box, kick it on. But instead of it being like a normal breaker box, when you kick it on, you have to sit there and let it build pressure for like 25 minutes. And basically just
That doesn't seem
Okay,
safe.
it seems all right. Now, then you have to drive all the way up to the top number, which bottom line, so it would have been hole 10.
Mm-hmm.
Drive all the way back up to hole 10 and take a little key and turn all the sprinkler heads on by hand. And then all of a sudden you have to wait to see if the pressure came up. Pressure didn't come up. You're like, oh, I blew something.
Nope, sounds right.
Yeah, it just seems exactly the dysfunction we expect.
Or, we just had a lot of stuff like that happen. We had a big mower, which was to cut the roughs, but like anytime we told someone to get on it, we're like, whatever you do, don't stall it out, don't turn it off, don't get up off the seat. They're like, why? I was like, it'll die and we can't get it back up. It died every day. If it wasn't me riding it, then we would basically have to pull something else down to boost it off, and then
And it's not like it's not like the golf course isn't like a big corporation or anything, so it wasn't like you couldn't get like new. You couldn't get new shit ever.
It's all
I don't think we
hand-me-down.
ever got anything new.
Yeah, everything's always going to be just the old shit and get it fixed back.
Only thing we ever got new was like new golf carts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But with that being said, those golf carts, they were fucked by the first 6 weeks.
True.
I played that course when
Well, you played it with me.
there was no golf carts and it was 9 holes
Yes.
and you walked it.
Yeah.
It was wild.
That was the old course too.
Yeah, it was the old course. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was only not the first 9 holes, right? Or I think
there's
it was the back 9, or it was a mix of those, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's actually a guy, I think he's a member there. He's still a member there. With like the golf team.
Mm-hmm.
They when they practice the high school, middle school golf teams, they have to walk the top 9.
They do.
But that's it.
That's weird.
They just have to walk the top 9. But when they do tournaments, they have to walk the top 9. But in between holes, they can be shuttled,
Yeah.
just like PJ. But now there's this guy. He's probably in his 50s now. Ever since I worked up there since I was like 15. Worked there for about 15 years. That dude would always show up, and he would never get a cart, and he would walk all 18
Oh yeah.
every day. I walked.
The exercise, that's all the exercise you need.
That's basically why I did it. But he would shoot under par every time. I was like, "Aren't you killed out?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I love it."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're gonna work out anyway, like if he was gonna work out anyway, go play golf and you can walk all those. You can walk. What is that? I mean, I guess how many miles that is? It's 18 holes
That's a lot.
all over there.
That's a lot,
Yeah, I mean, it's
especially going up and down the incline.
Yeah.
And I've always said it though. I was like, I love baseball, everything else, but if you really want to look at athletes that are in shape, 80% of athletes are golfers that are in the most peak. shape.
Yeah.
because they got to be at the top of it.
But you don't know it by looking at them.
Yeah,
They're always like dressed up.
freak
real nice.
athletes.
Yeah,
they're all freak athletes.
Yeah.
they could have done any sport they wanted to.
exactly. And it's crazy to think about. Why do you think like Tiger's back gets messed up so much?
Right.
Because he's working out constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's constantly trying to get. He's trying to get that swing back anyway.
Well, I tell you what, he needs to quit changing the swing then.
True.
How many pieces of equipment did you crash?
Crash?
Wreck? I mean, I guess not crash. All of them.
90% of them. I'm trying to think.
Because the mowers are not like normal mowers.
No,
Like-
my favorite one I ever crashed though was like my rookie year, and that was before like they had
Major
my
League
rookie
Golfing.
year.
We refer to it as rookie year. People should call it rookie year more.
That was before like they had paved the main road going all the way to the
Oh,
bottom.
yeah.
It was just gravel. So like I was in one of those 6-wheel gators, the little diesel 6-wheel gators
Yeah.
that like they fly, dude. And I was going up that
I know this story.
the zigzag path. Well, when you go up it, no cart is supposed to be allowed to go down it. They're supposed to take that gravel road down. And there was a golfer that was drunk as hell, and he was zooming down it while I was going up. And it was either I crash into this member and get in trouble, or
It'd be much worse to hit him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I crashed it into the side of the rock wall, and there's a little barrier. I hit the barrier, and I was like, "We're good." And all of a sudden the other guy beside me was like, "No, you're not good." I was like, "Why?" And I went to pull out, and all of a sudden I heard a pop. Look down, and my tire is rolling back down the hill.
You 5 more?
Hmm?
Is it a 6-wheel?
It was a 6-wheel.
You got 5 more
I
wheels.
got 5 more, but it was the steering tire.
No,
I think
I
you
need that.
I think you do it with 1.
So it was really
I feel like you would have gotten a lot more trouble if you hit the
inside.
dude.
Yeah, I feel like I would.
It seems like you made the right call.
But yeah, I've run over or wrecked or hit something with every. It happens. It happens up there. You're up on a mountain. You hit rocks. You hit walls.
Well, and like
You're
the work
basically
is
4-wheeling in golf carts.
yeah, you are
Yeah.
The work is so like monotonous though, just like the shit you're doing all the time, doing the same thing over and over, and it's like
You
gotta get in some shit like.
Oh yeah, like
And it's not like cool that you have to rake the sand.
bro, that was like the bane of my existence.
Yeah, I'd quit. I think that would be my like. That's the thing I would never do. They'd be like, "Did you rake the sand?" No,
I hate sand anyways. I'm not going to touch
I did not rake the sand.
What's worse than raking the sand is having to be on weed eater patrol to like cut the angles around the sand pits, where like all that grass is growing up around it.
Yeah,
And if you're not paying attention, you're going to get a face full of sand
Yeah.
like every 2 seconds from that weed eater.
that's the fucking. That has to be the worst too. Like, the weed eating is literal
Weeds.
obstacles put there on purpose
Yeah.
to complicate things.
What?
And that course has more hazards than any course ever.
Oh yeah. So I know people that haven't been around Raven Rock won't know this, but like the old driving range.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were a low man, if you were a new guy, you didn't touch equipment, you were weed eating.
Mm-hmm.
Once a year, they would task all the new guys to weed eat that whole entire hillside
Oh,
at the driving range, all the way up to the tree line.
that's the worst.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it was awful, but it was funny too because like once you get out of that area where you don't have to weed eat, you can watch them go through where you went through.
Yeah.
So you get to like witness them screaming when they find a copperhead, or like there's a doe bedded down in the
Jumps
high
up
weeds
and
and jumps up and they start rolling down the hill because it scared them, stuff like that. So you're like, hey, I've been there, seen that, guys.
Yeah.
That's a big hill. That's a lot of
Yeah, it is.
weeds.
And it's before like all the olive bushes. Grew
Yeah.
up. It was just straight weeds all the way up to the
300
pines.
yards.
Yeah, all the way up there.
Well, I know when you were there, anytime I seen you, you were into something literally, like, or it'd be like send me pictures of you like in a hole that just happened to be in the middle of the golf course.
Or catching a snake.
All those like ponds have fish in them though, right? Like, aren't they all?
Oh, yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
So much fish, yeah.
So there was smallmouth
And tons
largemouth.
of golf balls.
Yeah, there was actually a company that would come out and they would rake the ponds and sell them back to
Yeah.
the golf course, and they would do it for like 2 or 3 days.
Is that the scuba divers?
That's a
Yeah,
hell
that's
of a
scuba diving.
business.
Yeah.
That
But-
is a great business
Yeah, it is.
plan.
But they
Get these
would,
out. You want them?
I'll
They
sell them
would,
back.
they would they would pull out 20 and 30,000 golf balls
Yeah, sure.
at a time.
Make 5-10 cents a ball on it.
Well, I mean, like for a while though, probably 5,000 of those are mine.
Me too.
Everything
Still
went
is.
in the water. Everything in the water all the time. What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened on the golf course to you?
Weirdest thing probably would be the dog wrecking the cart into the pond.
What?
Excuse me?
Yeah, you heard me right. We had a member there. I can never pronounce this breed of dog right. Weimaraner?
Weimaraner?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking know.
We'll Google it and show it to you.
Google it.
Google it. Real
Google it. Warmenreiner.
I can never say it right.
Weimaraner.
Weimaraner.
Anyway, what the fuck?
So this dog, a Weimaraner, it's supposed to look like
Can we just call it a wiener?
one called wiener.
I don't care what we call it.
It looks
What's
like
this thing?
that thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
It's really pretty.
so
Yeah, it is.
they're gorgeous.
Great
dogs.
podcasting.
And they're supposed to be like super sleek, super muscular.
Yeah.
Dude, this thing was probably about 100 pounds overweight. It looked like a deer tick with a little head, just big old fat body, little legs. And this member, he brought it every day. It's a cool dog. Loved everybody. But you get to hole number 12.
Mm-hmm.
So with hole number 12, your tee boxes are elevated and you hit over a pond into a fairway, and then the fairway is elevated the opposite way. So you're basically parked at an angle downhill. And and at the bottom of the hill is the pond. So he got out and told the dog to stay. When he told the dog to stay, it sat there for a second. He hit his tee shot. When he hit his tee shot, he heard the click of the emergency brake, and that dog had actually hit the gas pedal.
Oh, cute.
And it rolled all the way down that hill, and the dog waited till the last second and jumped out right before it hit the pond.
Nice.
And it destroyed the cart, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So once it destroyed the cart, they tasked me to go down there and get it. They're like, yeah, you're good.
Did the dog die?
No, he was good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's fine. He jumped out right at the last
Oh, he
second.
jumped out.
Yeah, he jumped out right. He knew what he was doing, Joe. He knew what he was doing. And it was just funny because they're like, well, let's get in there. And no one wanted to get in the pond. I was like, it's a pond. It's just water.
Yeah.
So I went and got in the pond, got to the cart. I was wrapping the chain around it. And all of a sudden I heard our mechanic, Shepherd, rest in peace.
Rip.
Love you, brother. He always called me Junior. I don't know why. He just hadn't. I could hear him. I can still hear him to this day doing it. He was going, Junior, watch out, watch out. And I was like, what? And I looked, and the ground came out from under the cart, and it started sinking, and I was inside the cart trying to wrap it. So you see me trying to get out of the cart, and it's sinking all the way down. All I could see was like the top of the cart. And you can see the seat floating up because it came unhinged. And Shepherd being Shepherd, he's just an idiot. He was like, grab the seat. It's a flotation device.
So did you lose the cart?
We got it out. It never worked again.
I was going to say it's
Never
non-functioning.
worked again. Like, no, it was.
Was it gas or electric?
That one was electric.
Oh, yeah.
Because they moved to electric carts. I always prefer gas carts.
Same.
They were
They're
like-
faster
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
well,
louder
Yeah.
one of the reasons why they moved to electric.
because you got...
Because we figured out how to
Oh,
rip
yeah.
the governors out of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's you drifting the golf carts
Yeah.
everywhere, all
Oh,
over the
dude,
place.
Listen, if it rained just a little bit in the morning,
Yeah.
just perfect enough where it wasn't too muddy,
You can slide them.
man, we would go down a fairway as fast as we can, and then we would just hit the brake.
Because, I mean,
lock it, and
if you
we
fuck
would
the
just
grass up, you can fix it.
360s all the way down.
That's beautiful. That's fun, though.
I've done it on accident.
Yeah, you've done it on accident. But, you just had stuff like that happen all the time.
And then going golfing with you was an experience, too, because you had, like, access to everything. So you'd be like, no, it's good. Let's go to this.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. We don't have to wait anywhere.
Or,
Go out here and get a cart.
Do you remember the big forest fire hit?
Oh,
Texas?
yeah.
Yeah, I was a part of trying to save the golf course brigade during that
Oh, yeah.
because all the grass had already went dormant. So when it went dormant, it turned yellow.
Yeah.
Of course, because
Yeah.
it's just like leaves that fall. It turned yellow. It's dead at this point. And then you had fire coming from both sides up the hill, and we were trying to keep it wet as possible. I mean, putting gallons and gallons on that dormant grass because if it would have hit that grass.
Yeah, it fucking lit everything up.
Yeah, it would just it would look like fire and brimstone.
I never really thought about a golf course being on fire, I guess.
It just goes up in flames.
If I was thinking about things businesses that burned down, I wouldn't think, which is ironic since recently the clubhouse burnt down up there.
yeah.
You've not worked there
Well,
in years, but the clubhouse burnt down.
So that
Restaurant and clubhouse.
When the forest fire hit, it was so hot that there was a 4-inch water line that was going all the way down to the main water access.
Yeah.
It went all the way down into almost Dunham, and the water the fire was so hot that when it finally went out, we went to look for that line, and it's a big, thick ass 4-inch pipe, and it's probably like half an inch thick. It was reduced down to powder. Like there was nothing left of it. Literally nothing. They were like, "Go chase that line." I was like, "What line?" There's not a line left.
Yeah.
It was like 300 foot of it gone.
So we have a segment that we recorded. Buddy stopped by. It's just me and him, Willie. He was Willie. He's like a listener, and he was one of our Patreons. He's forever there, and he's been with us. So he stopped by, and he's actually an electrician. So we talked about that. I'm gonna cut to that. Me and him in studio recording there, and then we'll be right back.
My problem is, like, I listen to 2 podcasts, all right? You all and the Joe Rogan whenever there's somebody good on.
When somebody's good on there.
And Joe Rogan has, like, I mean, his are like 3 and 4 hours long.
Yeah, he does the segments, though, that are great. That you can cut, like his YouTube and the TikTok and stuff. It's just cuts of it, which are great.
And, like, I'll sit and listen to it, and it can last a full week.
Yeah.
And then I mess up and I'll listen to it like on Monday on my way to work. And then
Then you're mad all week. Fucking, I just quit today. Maybe that's.
Quit my job.
It's ironic because my new job, I have a paid lunch.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm salary, so I'm paid for everything.
Everything's paid anyway. You're getting paid right now.
Right, yeah.
That's awesome.
I will say the last person that I quit my job for was you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you was the last person I quit from.
Really?
I've turned in my notice like 4 times at my current job, but yeah, it's and I went the opposite direction. Like, I should not even be on here because I've got like 5 jobs now.
You're doing everything. Well, no, yeah, but you don't hate all that shit.
No.
Right.
No.
So, I mean, because you became an electrician later in life.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and you really enjoy that.
Well, I fell into it. Like, so my dad lived down there when I moved down there. He's like, "You got to come live with me. Like, I'll put you through school and everything." I was like, "Okay." And so he said, "Well, you're going to work with me over the summer." And so I went down there, and he had me working with him. He's like, "Hey, there's these classes. It's like math." And I've always been like a math nerd, which is weird. But he's like, "Go to these classes and see if you like them." And I went. I was like, "Yeah, they're pretty cool." And then he's like, "Hey, we have a job out at UK, but you have to be in the apprenticeship to be on it because it's like a prevailing wage job." I was like, I don't want to do 4 years of this. And he said, "Well, here's the pay scale." And at 18, I went, because I was making like $7 when I was working at the gas station.
Right.
I started there. I was making like $9. And
Isn't that wild? Doesn't that blow your mind that we made that little money?
Yeah. And now people are still able to make that little money.
Is that what they still pay?
Minimum wage is still $7.25.
Ain't that fucking crazy? That blows my mind, dude. That's nuts to me to think that, like, no way I could make it on that. Well, yeah. I mean, I couldn't do anything on that. I can't pay a quarter of my bills.
Right. But he showed me this scale, and it was like, as an 18-year-old on this job, I was going to be making $22 an hour. I was like, I'm an electrician now.
It sounds great. This is what I'm going to do.
But my whole thing, like, it worked out because I was going to go to ITT Tech, and that fucking bomb.
Does that exist anymore?
No.
Oh, that shit collapsed, right? All those did, like Spencerian and them, and like all that shit was. Did they get discredited? ITT?
Yeah, like ITT, the government just come in one day and was like, "You're all done," and shut them down.
Do they discredit the diplomas now?
I don't know about like the diplomas people have, but if you come in with an ITT Tech diploma, somebody's probably going to laugh you out of the building.
Yeah, because it's not like I know I have a buddy who's got his got discredited, like he went to like a school, like an online school or whatever, and it ended up not being legit or whatever. Yeah. They were like, turns out you don't get a diploma.
Yeah, and I mean, most of those places, like colleges, are weird because you can.
That's why I don't do them.
Yeah, you can get like almost a degree at like UK, and then you try to go to like Ohio State, and they're like, "Yeah, half of these don't work," and so you have to go get new credits for that.
I went to Southeast. I went to community college for 2 years.
Ping pong.
For ping pong, bro. Yeah. I played so much ping pong. I got pretty good though. Like I'm not bad at ping pong.
Yeah, I've never played it because I never went to college. So
Never got a chance to. What sucked is like the teachers play too. So like you'd be playing and they'd be like, you late for class? And it's like, yeah, but it's fine because I'm here with the teacher. It's okay.
Right.
I'm here with the professor. I'm playing ping pong with my professor. It feels like I'm gonna be late anyway.
he's late too, so it's fine.
So I'm the last person you quit.
Yes, you are. That's why. Maybe that's why I had such a drawing to this podcast.
Did you just walk out?
No,
I don't remember.
I come in and I was like, "Hey, I got a job in Lexington," and you was like, "Oh, that's cool. If it don't work out."
I couldn't remember if you just didn't come back.
I didn't give a 2 week because it was like a Wednesday, and my dad was like, "You can start Monday," and I was like,
Yeah,
I didn't know how to tell him no, so I was just like, I guess I'm telling Dusty I'm done.
Yeah, man, that's all such a blur for me. The gas station days were like,
Well, that's 15 and a half years ago.
it's ancient. And it was still like, it blows my mind that I was able to work because I can't even fucking imagine working midnights now.
No.
But like, it blows my mind that like I worked midnights for forever, like midnight to 8 a.m.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that now.
I did it like while I was still in high school because there was somebody quit, and I think you all had me work some midnight shifts. Like I was working and then going straight to school.
I do not doubt we did that. Yeah.
I was 18, so it was fine. But it was, I remember the one night, like your all's whole shit dick demon stories.
Yeah.
I was working, and I can't remember who was coming in the next morning, but like the coal crowd come through at like 3 a.m. and I went to clean, and I went in the bathroom, and like there was just a pile of shit in the urinal, and I just walked out. I was like, I don't get paid enough.
I'm not cleaning that. That we talked about that gas station bathrooms, man, are different. Gas station bathrooms are like people shit up the walls, and like what are people doing in the bathroom?
How many people carry Sharpies around with them to be racist in there?
That's what's I always think that is just like, are they keeping a Sharpie in my bathroom? Like, is there a Sharpie somewhere hidden in my bathroom that I don't know is in here?
No, those people, they wake up and they put on their like rebel flag underwear and they put their Sharpie in their pocket because they got to go be racist somewhere.
Yeah, there's so much shit. Waisaki had to erase off the walls there. It was just like, oh, can't even use this bathroom until somebody gets rid of that, bleaching it off the walls. I don't know if I've ever had a Sharpie in a bathroom.
I mean, I have, but we use Sharpies to like mark our conduit and stuff.
It's electricians. It's electricians painting shit on walls.
Workers is what it is.
That is true. Everything's in a charcoal pencil on the wall. Like, we know who did that shit.
But like the only other bathroom story, I was in Bowling Green working on a job out there, and I was in the bathroom, and this kid walks in, and he's like yanking on the door, and I'm like, "There's someone in here, dude!" And he makes a noise that I don't even know how to replicate. But then you just see shit fall on the floor right next to his feet.
Oh my God.
His pants didn't come down. Like he just shit on the floor. And then he ran over to like where the sink in the urinal was. And then he ran out. So he ran out with shit running down his leg. And I just.
That makes me so nervous. I don't. Because he was definitely just oh man, that stresses me out.
Yeah, right.
Little kids are gross. Never touch a little kid's hands.
Well, you know, I say kid, but like he could have been like teenager.
I mean, like I always said, if you don't shit on yourself, you're lying. If you've never shit on yourself, you're
right.
lying.
Yeah,
you've definitely done that. What's the worst job you ever had? Are you gonna say the gas station?
Yeah, the gas station. I had this real dick of a manager. No,
Virginia. Shout out
honestly,
Virginia.
like our company, like I've worked in a bunch of different areas of ours. So like the one that made me want to quit my job it wasn't really the job itself. It was the people I was working for.
I think it's most of the time. That's what we always say is most of the time. It's like if you're working with like factory work is the worst kind of work, right? But all those people are like together and like friends.
Yeah, right. But like the people that manages like one of our divisions, they're just dicks. Like, they feel like they're better than everyone else. And I was like in my second or third year in this, so I knew nothing, but I I was running work on their side.
Yeah.
But they still treated me like I was just some hillbilly who didn't know anything. And
it's always, you're always going to get that when you go somewhere.
And then later on, like I quit their division. Later on, I ended up back in it, and I was running like full on. I had a service truck, and I ran a full job. That Bowling Green job was just me.
Uh-huh.
And then they sent me to Alabama, and I was going on vacation like the week after. And I was like, I'm only going to be here a week. So whatever gets done, gets done. And they bombed my review that year because I left a bunch of stuff not finished. Huh. And I was like, all right. The next day I turned in a 2-week notice.
Jesus.
But as far as like stressful jobs, I worked in, technically I'm in HR now, but
oh shit.
Yeah.
You're the enemy.
I'm Toby. But I was the recruiter when I first come into our office, and I was hiring people and moving people from job to job. And one of the guys that I knew was sitting at home because I didn't put his name on a document that we had. And so I was like, how many more people are sitting? I hated it. I was like, I need out of this.
Yeah. I feel like I could never be in HR because I'm confident I'm an HR liability.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think they could ever hire me for HR. It's more of a joke if I apply for HR.
Especially in like the PC world we live in. Like I always, like I talk to people. I love talking to people like all day
Well,
long.
you got to fill them out though, right? Like you got to fill out the crowd you're with, and you're like, can I be on my bits with these people or can I not?
Right.
Because
yeah.
luckily I have a group of friends at work. The people I sit around, we're all like-minded. So
yeah, you got to kind of bait somebody else into saying something in
to see how many times they can do it. I'm sick of shit, by the way. I don't know if anybody knows.
My wife has like, what is it, sinus infection right now?
Yeah, maybe that's what I got. I don't know.
And she every time she comes here, she almost dies. So I left her at home.
The fucking pollen, bro.
Yeah.
The pollen here, people don't know.
Yeah, she's not from here. She's a city girl, so she would die.
Went down and got you a city girl. How long you been married?
11 years. Yeah, 11 years. I started dating her 6 months after I moved up there. And honestly, like even after I started working there, like my whole goal was to come back here.
Yeah.
I wanted to get up there and be like, I hate this, and tell my dad like, hey, I tried.
Yeah, I'm not doing this.
And it never happened.
Well, it's probably for the better.
I get, yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Hindsight seems like being here would have, I mean, might be on crack.
Yeah, or at the very best at the sawmill.
Now, you might be on a podcast.
I'd be on here more.
They don't get paid enough, man. The sawmill.
Yeah.
People who work at the sawmill don't get paid enough money.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
I see him.
Because it's fucking hard. That shit ain't like, that's no fucking joke.
And he's been there like 25 years. Like he's
starting pays like 14 or some shit.
If that, yeah.
If that, yeah, it's low. Yeah, there was a Facebook post that got hated. Like they got like destroyed by a good friend of mine is the manager there, and he can't, he can't help a lot of stuff, but
right.
But it got like destroyed because it was like said the starting pay, and it was just like drug test, and it was like whatever, how many hours a week or whatever, and it was like you got to work 50 hours a week for $12 an hour, and you can't go home and smoke a joint.
Yeah. So I can't be high and I have to work for this? No.
Yeah. It's pretty tough. I wonder if I have to cut that. Not decided.
You didn't say no names, and we didn't say the name of the sawmill, so I think you're good.
Yeah, it's just a sawmill. But
not the one here in Kansas.
Yeah, sawmill in Kansas. In Nebraska. Well, it's good having you on. I'm glad you stopped by.
It's been fun, man. I will say that this podcast is like exactly my humor.
Yeah.
And so like y'all got to get more.
We're going to have you on for a full episode with everybody here. Mm-hmm. And that's the plan. So when we have some more time, or we can do a call. It's funny because we just figured out, we were like, had the system for a while and just figured out, like I knew we could call because we did some before, but like, did you listen to the episode with the live calls?
Yeah.
That's the first time we've done live calls. We had one with the call-ins, but they weren't live. It was like recorded calls. But that episode was the first one with live calls, and it worked pretty good. It flowed pretty good, and we were worried it wouldn't, but it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, y'all had the girls.
Yeah, the girls were here, and then we called the boys from there. That was a fun episode.
I kept thinking it was like a happy end of massage parlor. The more y'all talk, you never said what the business.
Oh man,
was.
it's funny because when she got here, she was like, we can't really necessarily discuss what we do because it's protected by the business they run is protected by like alcohol and beverage.
Mm-hmm.
So
We can't.
They can't discuss about really what it is.
I even went on Google Maps and I was like, "What is this business?"
So it got wild. It got kind of wild. They can't even advertise. Like they can't advertise it also because couldn't say the name of the business either.
It's a shitty business model if you can't advertise it.
I don't know, man, because what it is they provide is needed. But that was the whole thing was. So we kind of had to improvise from there,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up being a good show anyway. But we cut a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
we cut a lot of stuff. Yeah, which was entertaining. But yeah, we'll have you on for a full episode, and we'll call you, and we'll have a whole load of questions, and you can roast us, and we'll have a good time there.
Yeah, I'm down.
But yeah, I appreciate you supporting us. I appreciate everything coming by, and sorry you had to quit me. But I'm glad you did, though. It worked out better.
You've got somebody that quit you. Like you was the reason someone. Well, you're not the reason, but you can claim to be the reason.
I'll take it. It was a fucking asshole had to quit. All right, man. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, buddy.
That was at you, Monroe. Did that? I didn't know what that was. Like, where's this noise coming from? I was slapping the table. It was not as loud as it used to be. You remember how it was? We had the cheaper mics and the cheaper.
It was like,
Yeah, it was like every time if you touch stuff, it'd be like, "Why'd you do that?"
Everybody else did it. I want to do it too.
You did it like 10 times harder than everybody else did. Everybody else like touched the table, and you were like, "Ah!" You can't help it.
You want to do it right.
It's not.
that's what
That
she
wasn't.
said.
I hate everybody here. It's like we're out of we can't keep it reeled in without Ryan here.
No, not at all.
We're all over the place without him. He had to keep us reeled in. And he had to tell us to hush that day, and I was like, "All right, you're right. Let him tell the story. You're right. You got us."
Oh, when we were talking about the chickens?
Yeah, and it's like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right. You got us. Let it go. Let him roll through it." That was Willie though. He was talking about. Now you guys haven't heard it yet, which is funny. Coughing to the mic. You guys haven't heard it yet, which is funny. I'll play it for you later.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
But it's he just stopped by and hung out a little while. We're gonna have him on for a full episode, but just the time he was here, we couldn't get the crew here to record. So we'll have him on for a full episode though. Wes had one more story with us, or one more story for us before we go. About keeping the ground
inebriated.
No, reel it back in. Come back with us. The groundkeeper. You had another story for us about the ground.
Oh, which one? I'm trying to think which one it was.
You literally just said it before we went to break.
Oh, about
Or
the
whom-
Super Gator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes back to me where we were talking about stealing the beers.
Yeah.
So one tournament, we did the same thing we always do, where we find the beers. The way they do it is usually they'll put the coolers down, and then they'll put on the bottom of the cooler is the beer, and the top of the cooler is your Pepsi and Coke products.
Sure.
So whether we knew or not if they had alcohol, we would go basically fishing for beer, and we hit the mother load that day.
There was beer.
A lot of
Always beer.
a lot of it. And, it was just like Dusty said earlier about the whole, he would get text from me at like 11 o'clock and I'd be already blitzed. This one day, usually with a tournament, once the tournament starts, you're done for the day. Like, if there's any kind of maintenance on the equipment, you can do that to finish out your hours, or you can go home.
Yeah.
So we were trying to be straight faced going back into the garage because it was like 1 o'clock maybe. By then we had already. There was a spot on the golf course. It was a back lot that no one really could get to except us, and like we went back there. It used to be where I hunted at. We went back there and killed a bunch of those beers. And
Deers, you mean?
We hid.
yeah,
We hid and drank all the beer.
we drank all the beers. Got back to the good old maintenance building, and we were trying to basically at the end of the day, you're trying to park all the equipment back in, and it's like Tetris.
Oh yeah, because it don't fit really.
Yeah. So if you ever think about like POV Tetris, that's us. But then times it by 100 with difficulty.
Yeah, if like you were looking overhead, it would look like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
It looked like one of those,
Yeah.
like the
Only you can figure it out.
And we were drunk.
little puzzles.
So they were trying to get us to get everything together. And one of the guys that I worked real close with, they were like, we need to get the Super Gator, which the Super Gator is just like a 6-wheel Gator, but it's a big diesel motor. It's 4-wheel drive. It doesn't have 6 tires. It's got 4 tires. And it's basically like the size of a box truck.
It'll go fucking anywhere and do whatever.
Yeah, and it's got a dump bed on it. It's the coolest thing ever. It's 5-speed. And we were like, that's the last piece of equipment we need to move. And it was kind of like blocking a way to get another piece in. And I was like, hey, so-and-so, go ahead. And we got to get this equipment in. And he's like, all right. And before we could say anything, the dude that I worked closely with was like, I got it. I said, oh, shit. Before I could do anything, he had already started up and put it what he thought was in first gear to go forward, and he threw it in reverse and slammed on the gas and like went right through the wall almost. Like took a chip out of the doorway.
Rip the whole fucking thing up.
Yeah. And then the whole time after that, he was trying to play it cool. The mechanic looked right at us. He was like, you're drunk. I was like, I'm not drunk. I'm not the one that wrecked it.
We're all fucking sober. Leave us alone.
Sober. He's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you? And I was like,
Did you guys get fired for being drunk?
no.
Do you think it had no? Really, it was new management, right? It was like new management, and they like cleared everybody out because they didn't want to pay like 6 people.
Yeah, the new management hated us.
Yeah,
Like,
can't imagine why.
I don't know. I tried to tell them, how to run the golf course. They didn't like it.
Yeah.
But look at them now.
And they got rid of y'all, and then the course turned to shit. It was like everything was, all the fairways were brown and
Oh, it was awful.
greens were brown.
Another cool. You've seen a lot of wildlife up there too, though. Like,
Oh yeah,
You
there's
still do.
You still do. One of the craziest things was there was a little like, I don't even want to call it a farm. This guy just had some horses in a holler next to the golf course.
Oh, yeah.
And every now and then they would get out and they would just like be grazing
that'd be super cool.
in the fairway. Thing is, I am deathly scared of horses.
Yeah,
Deathly
I
scared.
don't think I knew that about you.
Yeah, that's one thing. I hate horses.
Are you afraid you're gonna get kicked or what?
They bite.
I don't think they bite that often. Like I know they bite, but like I don't think it's like a phobia. Like it seems like you have an actual phobia.
Yeah.
Like
I don't like horses. I don't like them. I don't like them.
I think that's funny. Isn't that
I think it's pretty funny.
Are you afraid of horses?
No.
I'm a little bit. Like I don't want to get behind one.
Like, I've never been around horses, though.
I guess so.
But like seeing me, they task me to go out there and get them off the course, and I'm like, no. They're like, you're the only one that can do it right now, and I'm like, I'm usually like 50 yards away from with my.
You've heard of
arms.
Elf on the Shelf?
Yeah,
It's horse on the course.
50 yards away, throwing my arms up, yelling, and I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere closer to them. They're
Nope.
like, just
Close enough.
This is good.
yeah.
Fire a round into the air.
No, I can't do that no more. I got in trouble for that.
Raise your hand if you're surprised you got in trouble for that.
I used to hunt on the golf course.
Nobody's surprised.
There's been witnesses of seeing me running around the golf course with a bow and arrow somewhere.
I believe it.
Yeah, you were just pretending to be Legolas though.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't be?
That's who you think you are on the golf course.
I thought I was a lot of things on the golf course. One thing I didn't know I was a groundskeeper.
Well, now you keep trucks.
Yeah, I keep trucks up. I went from one
It's a truck keeper.
small diesel
Truck keeper.
motor to these big ass cat diesel motors. And they're real fun. We got one down right now that we can't figure out what's wrong with it.
Yeah, hopefully we can have another episode just about that.
Oh yeah.
You have more. You've not been doing it a long time, so I know you don't have a lot of experience with it.
No, but it keeps you on your toes, man. It really does. It's fun. Just like because it's always something
With something new all the time, yeah.
It's always something new all the time. And there's a lot to it that you don't think about. A lot.
Technical stuff, right?
Yeah. Like one little thing.
I just went on runs with him and stuff like to go pick up parts. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, I usually when I come in here and start venting to him, he's like,
Just letting him talk, but I was like, I don't know what we're doing.
I'm in, but all right.
The only thing that he picked up on when I was like, I thought of you today. He's like, why'd you think of me today? I was like, well, this guy's steering went out, and I figured out what was wrong with him. He was like, well, what's that got to do with me? I was like, well, the piece that broke was a pitman arm. He's like, oh, pitman.
Next, like, I don't know anything about diesel motors at all. I don't know anything about anything diesel.
They run on compression.
I don't know motors.
I know cars. Like, I know car motors, but I don't know anything. But, Busta became a gearhead.
Busta did become a gear. I went with the times.
Great show, guys. I want to give a shout out to a bunch of workers that I appreciate a ton that just got laid off. Everybody from WWE who got released.
R.I.P.
I wanted to bring it up just because it's like it's a work related thing, and it's kind of wild that all those wrestlers got released because of the merger. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
Saving money, bro.
You can look it up. But the UFC and WWE merged.
TKO.
And, yeah, TKO. Yeah.
Network or whatever.
And they released a ton of wrestlers, so a bunch of people just got laid off. So shout out to them.
One in particular was not surprising.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still everybody else. So, like, shout out to them that they find a better job than what they had.
AEW.
Yeah, they found a better job than
Probably
what they had.
picked up.
Oh, they're all going to get picked up.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that'll be good. I don't worry about their careers, but I just wanted to shout it out because
you don't think of it happening to people like they are
because they're rich and famous.
They're considered superstars.
Yeah,
but it's like any small business or any kind of merger with a business. There is layoffs, but you just don't think of it happening with something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely there's definitely levels to that, but I just wanted to shout that out. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok,
Facebook,
Instagram. We're on Facebook now. Everything's basically at Unpaid Lunch or at Unpaid Lunch Podcast. Did I say Instagram? Did I say that?
Spotify.
TikTok, yeah. Facebook, Spotify, yeah. We're on everything there.
Pandora.
You guys know where we're at there and listen to it. Pandora. Yeah, we're on Pandora also.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think so. I don't think they have podcasts. So like, I'm pretty confident they don't have podcasts. So we're not on Pandora.
Can we do that?
Not if they don't have podcasts.
We'll make it happen.
Anyway, guys, yeah, don't forget to check us out on there and Patreon exclusive content. Usually the pictures from each week we share on there and stuff. But yeah, thanks for Willie coming by and leaving that, and looking forward to the next few weeks, some cool guests. You guys got anything else?
I still got shit.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go shit. I don't know. You got anything?
I'll be good.
All right, guys. Remember, ain't nobody stop you from quitting your job, but you. You should go poop.
Do it.